Let's go to The Voice. Thorpe was out there making her voice known on that. Crimea River, she said in response to the PM's press conference. You, her, I were all in lockstep opposing The Voice in principle. But what did you make of the PM's announcement today?
Look, the PM, I didn't believe all this tear-jerking stuff. Sorry, Peter, I didn't. I thought it was pathetic of a Prime Minister, and that's my first impression of it. What they're trying to do is push something forward on emotion, and it's not about emotion. People have to understand the implications this will have on our country. I find it divisive. I find it misleading, and I find they're not telling the people of Australia the full intentions, what will happen once they give it constitutional recognition. And Chris Merritt was excellent in what he said about this, and I totally agree with what he said. I hope people really think beyond the fact of being, okay, they were the first peoples here. Let's give them the constitutional recognition. It will divide us as a nation, split us as a people, and you will find there are a lot of problems that will happen. And this is why they want to put it in the Constitution. They can legislate it, but if it's put in the Constitution, it will never be removed.
I want to pick up something you raised in an adjournment speech last night in the Senate. It relates to a letter you got from a concerned member of the public. Now, people say, oh, gosh, you get letters all the time. How can you be sure? I have to say I would have my ears pricked when I was in restaurants around Canberra. I often found stuff left behind in restaurants or on photocopiers. I even found one day the Labor questions on the photocopier. What have you got and what does it say?
Well, it was an anonymous letter that was sent to me, to my office, and just received it on Tuesday morning, actually. And the letter was basically, it disturbed me greatly. This couple were in a restaurant in Woden. They actually heard the people beside them talking. After they left, there was 4 pages that were left behind. They photographed the pages and they actually then handed the paper to the cafe. They sent, he was very disturbed with what he heard, but some of the things that they actually said is that, 10% of appointments to be First Nations people for judges, magistrates, CW, SES, ADF officers, AFP and state police forces, corrections departments, vice-chancellors and ambassadors. It's about no entry tests and no fees for First Nations people, and reduce the age of eligibility for First Nations people. Because of that, we die younger. It means, closure of beaches and national parks, that they will actually pay a fee for it. It's control and ownership of the water. You'll pay compensation to them. It just goes on and on. There's 11 points to this, Peter. All liquor licences across Australia to be vetted by Voice. So this is an organisation, let's make it quite clear, it was NIAA, the National Indigenous Australians Association, which is funded under the Prime Minister and Cabinet of $4.5 billion a year. They were the ones that left these papers behind. So I have grave concerns about this. This is what I'm saying, people. Understand, if you give the yes vote, this is what you could be opening yourself up to, because once it's in the Constitution, as the Prime Minister said today, under Section 51, it's making laws in the good governance of the country. You've given them permission to make these laws. They can bring in whatever they want to, if not now, any future governments.